Welcome to Big Business with Sarah, the show for experienced entrepreneurs who want to grow their impact and income through value-based outputs. Are you a freelancer or a small business owner with 10 to 20 years of work experience? And is it finally time for you to reap the fruits of your labor and to recreate the business you will love? My name is Sarah Bergenkamp, and I'm helping you every Thursday to take your dream business closer to reality. Do not forget to subscribe to my show and catch every episode. Welcome to episode 13 of Big Business with Sarah. Thank you so much for listening. And today we're going to talk about the one-on-one on pricing. I get this question so often. As a business coach, we're talking a lot about this. We're going to talk about pricing. How to set your prices, how to communicate your prices, how to raise your prices. We're all going to talk about it today. I'm very excited about it, actually. I also have this pricing guide for you, and which determines on how to set your prices. But we're going to talk about much more, but this guide will be a good starting point. And before we start, I would like to tell you that we are also able to work together. I am hosting 3-week intensives. Those are private coaching programs in which we can solve one spot in your business. So for instance, pricing, I would love to talk about this and also talk about your product suite, what you're offering and which prices do fit. And you can also still subscribe to the Big Business, Big Life live stream series. I'm very excited about that one. That's just going to be really a lot of fun. If you want to learn more about this, listen to the previous episode 12, which is called Live Life on Your Terms. So you probably have an idea what we're going to talk about, and it's going to be really awesome. So I would love for you to join. And you can download this pricing guide. Also, I will link it up in the description. So we're going to talk about 3 things today. We're going to talk about setting your prices, raising your prices, and communicating your prices. And I know that for many business owners, this could be quite a difficult subject. And I understand, but also in a way I don't, because it's your business. You decide, and you have to take this responsibility and have to take action and really own your prices. So the first step we're going to do is setting your prices. And this is specifically what this pricing guide is all about. First, I want you to know your costs. You can make a budget, a yearly budget, a quarterly budget is really up to you. I think yearly budget is easiest to start with. And write down the costs you really need to make. So those are also personal costs, but also business costs. Maybe you have a team, maybe you have special licensing that you need to pay. Maybe there's other things that you really have to spend money on. So that's your good budget. Then I want you to make a second column, a better budget. And the third column is called best budget. So you can double your budgets, whatever you want to do. So for instance, maybe your good budget is 50,000, your better budget is 100,000, and best budget is 200,000 a year. I'm just making something up here. You can also download my budget template, by the way, in my shop. You can find it at bureausbb.com/shop. You can download it and you can use it. It's lovely to have this template and really start creating and taking that responsibility of owning your money. So that's where we start. Know your costs. Then I want you to think about the days and hours you want to work in a year. How many days do you want to work? So I remember starting as an entrepreneur full-time, which was 4 years ago. I remember thinking in the Netherlands, we get around, normal people, I wanted to say, get around 5 weeks off. And then I thought, you know what, I'm an entrepreneur, I want to take 10 weeks off. And that means, of course, that I have to work hard in the remainder of those weeks. So I thought of 42 weeks of working. And so I want to work 5 days a week. And actually, I would love to work 6 hours a day. And then you think about, which how many hours are billable hours, because you also need to work on your business. So for instance, maybe you want to work 1 day a week on your business. So really calculate those things. Yeah, it's really quite easy to think about the hours you want to work, the hours you want to bill, and the costs that you're having. And then actually that creates your magic number, your hourly rates. Also think about what your clients can pay. And also think about if these clients are still your ideal clients. Many of the people in my network, for instance, are working in the nonprofit sector. And maybe sometimes you really need a commercial client to help you survive, which is completely fine. If you know, take control of that, then you can actually work for those nonprofits still, and also maybe do some commercial schnappels on the side. And if you want more, and that's what happened to me. So last year I made about 10,000 euros a month, and just by freelancing. So those were my hours, and so I have a high hourly rate. But I wanted to have more. I wanted to not so much. I wanted to have more. I wanted to help more people. That was actually my first starting point with that. But then I thought, how can I do that? By scaling. So I want to help 100 clients a year this year. And normally I would have about 7 clients a year. So of course that means I had to scale. And all the repetitive things that I'm doing for someone, I can scale. So that's how I'm looking at my business right now. And you can do this too. So this is how you can set your prices. If you're noticing that maybe you have thought of, I want to work 20 weeks a year, and my costs are really high, and you think your clients can't pay you, then it's time to think about scaling. So it's really up to you. And then the second part I would like to talk to you about is raising your prices. And even without mentioning the inflation that is currently happening right now, I want to give you 5 reasons, plus a bonus reason, to raise your prices every once in a while. So the first reason is you gain more experience each and every day, which benefits your clients. So imagine all the skills that you've learned for the past year, for the past 2 years. So for me, for instance, I've learned so much about online applications, really taking control of my own calendar. I mean, the things that I've learned for the past year have been very, very valuable. I'm not going to, I've paid for this myself. I decided to pay for this myself. But for instance, you are a graphic designer, and all of a sudden you're also very good at making, I'm just saying something, moving animations. I'm not even sure if you're saying that. I don't think so, but you know what I mean. So all of a sudden you are much more valuable as a person. Yes, you can raise your prices. Do it. So that's the first reason. The second reason would be if you are fully booked. I'm speaking to so many freelancers that are complaining and saying, "Oh, I'm so busy, and you know what? I've been working till 11 p.m. today." And I'm thinking, well, maybe it's time to raise your prices, because everybody wants to work with you, apparently, and everybody can pay you. Why not think of raising those prices? The third reason is that it's challenging you. Are you the ideal fit? So I've had this in the past when I was raising my prices, and those were not really interesting raises, but maybe even, I don't know, €1 an hour of a raise. I mean, that's not a lot. And then there were people saying, no, now I can't pay you anymore. You know what? Then you're not my ideal client anymore. So, like really thinking about this, are those people that you are working for a very low rate, are they still your ideal clients? Maybe not. And the fourth reason, and I love this reason so much, is that it stretches you. You will do better if you are charging a little bit more than feels comfortable than what you're used to. You will do much better because you're thinking, you know what, I'm asking this rate, I should really step it up now. And maybe you're changing some things, maybe you're creating new skills for yourself, learning new things. Maybe asking your friends and family, how would you do that? Maybe some other colleagues in the sector. I don't know what you'll do, but it will stretch you. And I love that so much. And I love that so much about money, because money is energy. It can give you a lot of energy if you're thinking, this is stepping it up. And the fifth reason is, think of all the extra time that you will get once you're raising your prices. Every time you can work on your business, creating more skills, investing in yourself, investing in a business coach, and really thinking of how much better you will be in your business. And the more and more you learn, the more opportunities will come to you, the easier it gets to raise a business. Sorry, I'm laughing a little bit because I'm using my arms a lot. And if you're watching on YouTube, you know this. But my cat is trying to play with my arms, my hands, but it's fine. We're just going to continue. So imagine all the time that is coming up for you once you've raised your prices, because maybe you don't have to work as much hours anymore, and that you can spend on your business and you can actually grow all the time. I think that's also very exciting. Another thing, and that's my bonus tip, is that you can also think of the extra service you can offer for your hourly rate. So maybe you can subcontract. If you're saying, I am not available all those hours, but for a few simple tasks, I can subcontract to someone else. That's possible. Maybe you can be super available to your client. Maybe your client only likes to work, wants to call you sometimes also in the evening. Yes, if you're okay with that, and if you are raising your prices to the rate that it stretches you, do it. Be available to that client. And then the third lesson that we're going to learn today is talking about communicating your prices, because this is also where it gets really hard. I was talking to one of my coachees, and she was asking me, yes, okay, I know I have to do it, but now comes the hard part. I have to communicate this. And I just really want you to think about how it benefits your clients that you are raising your prices. So I just gave you a lot of reasons why you should do this, and name those reasons and try to think of a way why it benefits your clients. So for instance, if you are that graphic designer who can also do animation now all of a sudden, they only have to hire you. They don't have to hire someone else. They don't have to wait for another step along the way. That's benefiting your clients, and in the end, it's saving them a lot of money. So try to step into your ideal client's position, way of thinking. Maybe ask them also what are their pains, and really communicate it that way. And if you're a little bit afraid of communicating that, probably they are not your ideal clients. And there will always be something new, someone new around the corner. Trust this. Trust in this. All right. So we just talked about setting your prices, raising your prices, and communicating your prices. And I want you to have a look and download this pricing guide that I have for you right here. It's really filled, I'm just showing it on YouTube. It's filled with all different little assignments and exercises so that you can set your prices and communicate them very, very with a lot of, confidence. Sorry. And I would like to finally tell you, after you've downloaded the pricing guide, and you're thinking, I need a little bit extra. I really want to do this. I really want to step it up. I really like what you're saying, Sarah. You can step into my 3-week intensive. And it's a 3-week, it is a 3-week intensive. It includes 3 coaching calls, daily access to me in your back pocket. You can talk to me all day, every day, and really solving that one spot in your business. So it's really like a pressure cooker and solving that one spot in your business. And then there's also still some room in my Big Business, Big Life live stream series. It's a lovely program of 3 evenings where we're talking about living life on your terms. You can go back to episode 12, learning more about that. And I would be so excited if you would join me there. And and we're really going to have a lot of fun. And finally, I want to end with a quote, this time from Madonna. Poor is the man whose pleasure depends on the permission of another. So we've been talking a lot about money, but real wealth lies within the relationship you have with yourself. And that's what I want to end this episode with. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for sharing, telling other people that they should really listen to this. And I wish you a great day. Talk to you next week.